Your Excellency, Honorable Dr. William Samoei Ruto, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, the Right Honorable Amason Kingi, EGH MP, Honorable Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Article 1321B of the Constitution requires the President to address the nation once every year and at any other time. Further, Article 1321C of the Constitution requires the President to, once every year, report in an address to the nation on measures taken and progress achieved in the realization of our national values. Additionally, Article 1321C3 of the Constitution provides that the President shall submit a report for debate to the National Assembly on the progress made in fulfilling the international obligations of the Republic. In this regard, honorable members, by way of a message to the House, His Excellency the President conveyed his desire to address a special sitting of the Houses of Parliament today, 20th November 2025. Therefore, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 22 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, by Gazette Notice number 1651, which was published in the Kenya Gazette on 12th November 2025, and indeed as also notified to all members and the general public by way of newspaper notification published on 12th November 2025, I gave notice of this special sitting of Parliament to the members of the National Assembly. Accordingly, honorable members, this special sitting is properly convened. Your Excellency, honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is the custom of Parliament to recognize invited guests seated in our galleries. I therefore wish to recognize the following guests who are seated in the Speaker's row. Her Excellency Rachel Ruto, First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, and other members of the First Family. His Excellency, the Honorable Professor Kithure Kindiki, EGH, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. The Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, EGH, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs. Your Excellency, honorable members, also present this afternoon is the Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, Honorable Lady Justice Martha Koome, EGH. She is accompanied by the Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court, Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu, EGH, Honorable Justice Daniel Musinga, CBS Presiding Judge, Court of Appeal, Honorable Justice Oscar Angote, MBS, Presiding Judge of the Environment and Land Court, and Honorable Justice Brian Ongaya, EBS, Judge of the Employment and Labor Relations Court. We are also honored to have in our midst the immediate former Speakers of the Houses of Parliament, the Honorable Francis Ole Kaparo, the Honorable Ekwe Ethro, and the Honorable Kenneth Lusaka, EGH, the Governor of Bungoma County, and Clerk Emeritus of the National Assembly, Ambassador Michael Sialai, CBS. Also in the gallery, we have the Chairperson of the Council of Governors, who is also the Governor of Wajir County, the Honorable Ahmed Abdullahi, and the Honorable Johnson Sakaja, Governor of Nairobi City County. May I also accord special recognition to all Cabinet Secretaries present and particularly acknowledge 5 of them who are former ranking members of the Houses of Parliament, namely Honorable Aden Duale, EGH, former leader of the majority party in the National Assembly, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, EGH, former Senate Majority Leader, Honorable John Badi, EGH, and Honorable Opio Wandai, EGH, both former leaders of the minority party in the National Assembly, and the Honorable Alice Wahome, EGH. If Honorable Mutai Kagwe is present, he's also a former member of the House, I acknowledge him. I also acknowledge Principal Secretaries and members of the Diplomatic Corps, heads of constitutional commissions, and independent offices and state corporations present. You are all welcome to Parliament. Your Excellency, I wish to make a special welcome to Parliament and mention the Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, General Daniel Kahariri, and the respective service commanders, the Inspector General of Police, and other leaders of our disciplined forces who are seated at the Speaker's row. Parliament deeply appreciates your outstanding contribution to the national defense, security, and distinguished service to our nation. To all invited guests, we say, Karibu Bunge. Your Excellency, honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to draw your attention to the officer standing to the right of the chamber in green. He is the Chief Sergeant at Arms of the National Assembly, Mr. Aloisio Lekulo, OGW. Your Excellency, this special mention of this gallant son of Kenya is for the reason that he comes from the smallest community in our nation, the El Molo community, a community which, according to our last census, numbers just about 500. He has risen through the ranks as a high school teacher, as a DO, and competitively employed in Parliament in the year 2006 in the Sergeant's office, rising to become the Chief Sergeant at Arms. Today is his last day on duty, having served diligently in public service. The National Assembly had a special session where we paid tribute to him and we thank him for the distinguished service he has rendered to the nation and wish him well. Your Excellency, honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's now my singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces to address this special sitting of Parliament. Your Excellency, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Speakers of the National Assembly and Senate, the Honorable Members of the National Assembly and Senate, the Chief Justice and the leadership of the Judiciary, Cabinet Secretaries, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen. 2 years ago, when I delivered my first State of the Nation address, I had a vision to sell. Today, I have a story to tell. A story written not in the quiet offices or the comfort of boardrooms, but out in the blazing sun of our farms, in the dust of construction sites where our affordable homes now rise, and in the grit of our community health workers, doctors, medical professionals who refuse to surrender in the quest for universal health coverage. It is written in the steady hum of our factories, in the determination of millions daring to dream and finance their vision through the Hustler Fund, in the courage of our young people working on housing sites, in the Climate Works program, in the digital ecosystem, and in the bravery of those who, looking beyond our borders, have sought livelihoods abroad to sustain families back home. A story of sacrifice, a story of sweat, a story of progress that has not come easy. It is a story you can see in the numbers, feel in the homes, and trace in the lives transformed across our republic. a story whose facts are available for all to examine, except perhaps for the cynical who have no facts. Today, the evidence is clear, evidence of promises made and promises kept. In just 3 years, we have built not monuments of words, but foundations of progress. And yet, even with these achievements, I am convinced that this is only but the beginning. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as I prepared this address, I reflected deeply on the long road we have traveled as a nation. 62 years shaped by struggle, sacrifice, hardship, triumph, and milestones that have affirmed our spirit. From that reflection came one undeniable truth. We have made commendable progress, but Kenya still punches way below its true weight. This nation has the talent, the resources, and the spirit not just to improve, but to leap and to make the transition from a developing country to a developed one within our lifetime. That is why I speak today with full conviction that history has summoned this generation, our generation, at such a time as this, to a higher purpose. Some eras are shaped by events. Others are defined by the decisions a nation makes. And today, Kenya is called to make such a decision, to finish the journey our forebears began and finally turn our long-held potential into lived reality. To do this, we must cast off the prevailing mindset of being